When we last left off, I was in Glenwood Springs, and I had just seen Aspen and decided to leave, heading west. From there, I went to Parachute and took a bus down to Grand Junction, and then down all the way to Telluride. I'm not including all of that because while some interesting stuff happened, mostly it was a whole lot of nothing. But I did eventually make my way down to Telluride, and my main goal was just to get a job, or look around and see if getting a job was possible. You can see here some of the areas. I think this was in, I forget. This is Ridgeway, and then I hitchhiked the last little bit of the way into Telluride. Ooh-wee, alright. We've made it to Telluride. Man, look at these mountains. So this is like, this is way better than Aspen or Vail, to be honest with you. These mountains are so cool. So much bigger than what you usually get at a ski place. I was thinking about this recently, and I guess, you know, for a ski slope, you want it to have a certain slope. And so that's usually where you'd set up. Which is why, you know, Vail and Aspen weren't on like crazy big mountains. They just had like, you know, good slopes. But Telluride, man, this is wild. It's gonna take me a minute to get used to this. I wanted to explore the different parts of the area, so I took the gondola to Mountain Village. Here's Telluride. The whole town right there. It's a little bigger than I thought, actually, you know, being here. I thought it was going to be tiny, but it's actually pretty decent. My main goal on the first day was to ask around about jobs and get a feel for the way it works. Okay, I've made my way down out of Mountain Village. I talked to a few people. They gave me a website to look at. They told me a little bit about how things work around here. And one thing somebody mentioned was that off-season is starting soon. So I guess like the summer is considered an on-season. You can't ski obviously, but you can like do mountain biking and rock climbing and stuff like that, I guess. So that's still an on season. But then there's a period between there and when the ski season starts, where that's the off season, and a lot of things close during that time. I don't know if that's a bad thing for me or not, really, because it could be that they try to hire people during the off season so that they can get them trained up and started during the on season. So still don't really know. And there's still like, I give it a 60% chance that I don't end up staying here that long. There's just a lot of challenges involved, you know. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and fill out some applications, send them in, try and go and find the people that I need to talk to them, and there is some opportunities for housing, but not a lot. It's pretty limited. And meanwhile, I need to figure out where I'm going to sleep tonight. So I'm out here, which is, you know, outside of Telluride, but it's at the base of this highway that comes down out of Mountain Village. So I don't know, maybe I just need to like walk out this way somewhere until I get into the trees. There's this biking path right here. I don't know. I have to figure it out. So I've been seeing these Telluride Brewing Company stickers absolutely everywhere. At least everywhere in Colorado, but I feel like I've also seen them other places too. I can't quite put my finger on it. But this is a very popular brewing company, I guess. I assume it's more so like a symbolic thing, symbolic of Telluride, symbolic of Colorado, symbolic of skiing and snowboarding culture, something like that probably. So this is in a magazine. Here's your properties here. These are obviously kind of the higher end properties, I would think. But, you know, you're looking at like $22 million for, I mean, that looks like a nice one for sure. Some of these, you know, like this guy right here, just a little building, $2.6 million. It's 3 beds though, so, and close to the gondola, has a garage, so pretty nice. The rents that I saw when I looked at it briefly were like, I don't know, like $2,000 a month, something like that. Look at that one. That's a huge house. What would you think for that house around here? Like 10 million, 20 million? It's actually a fairly reasonable $5 million. You know, reasonable for some kind of person, at least. Alright, so I applied for several jobs on the Telluride ski and golf website. Most of them were like restaurant jobs, kitchen jobs, and waiter jobs and stuff like that. I did also apply for the ski slope grooming job, which I thought looked interesting. So that's good. I got something done today at least. Look at how clear the water is in this river. You can see all the way down to the bottom. It gets pretty deep in the middle too. I don't know how well it shows up on camera. Into the deep dark woods. But not before coming down to the stream. The San Miguel big puddle. This would be a very pleasant place for camping, but you would definitely get shut down. This is a pretty major trail. And then it comes back out to the river. The river kind of winds around that way. There you go. I like these birds around here. I don't know what they are exactly, but it's got that kind of weird iridescent blue on the wings, and black and white. They're cool birds. They seem pretty smart too. I was feeding one earlier. Could have been this one. I don't think so, but it's coming up to say hi. Yeah. There it goes. Got some unusual items for checkout. Some sort of instruments. Wow. We got a lot of stuff here. This is a podcasting kit. And a GoPro. And a laptop. There's just a big old rock right there. There's actually a couple in this field here. The river's over here. And then in this little field here, there's a bunch of stuff. Like even these little guys right here. It kind of looks like concrete at first glance, but then you look at it a little bit and you're like, no, that's rock. You can see all the little things embedded in it, and all the gravel over here, which is pretty clearly comes from inside of there. It's a cool little insight into how all these different types of rocks end up in the same place, because they're embedded. And then over time, this stuff is like fairly soft. It's probably sandstone. And stuff just comes out. You know, if you look at this rock enough, you might even find some little gemstones and stuff. At least some very interesting stuff. You can see the layers very clearly. That's cool. Wow. I wonder how many millions of years ago these little rocks ended up settling somewhere, and how many million years it took for this sandstone to form around it. This is a quartz guy. Pretty cool. Alright, well, I was on the bus this morning, and I got to talking with the driver and the one other passenger who was on there, and they were like, oh, you gotta go. I was telling them I want to, you know, move here. They were like, oh, getting a job's the easy part. You need to go apply at the housing authority so you can get on the wait list for housing. And so I went in, and it turns out before you can apply to be on the wait list, you have to have a job or a job offer in Telluride or the district, which includes Mountain Village. Wow. So I'm just reading through this thing, and the housing requirements are pretty damn strict. You need to have employment for the last 12 months for this one. You need to have 1,400 hours or 27 hours a week for the last 12 months for this one. The boarding house, which I gather is like the lowest, you know, the least qualifications needed, you still need to be employed for 20 hours a week for the last 3 months, which is a lot. So if I got a job right now, it's what, September or something, I think. If I got a job right now, October, November, it'd probably be like December before I would even qualify for the boarding house. And the rest of them are all, you know, the same or more. So yeah, this is like not realistic. When a waiting list applicant is advised of upcoming availability, they will have 1 business day to respond. That is crazy. There's a feather I found on the ground from one of those birds. You can see how it's iridescent blue. It shows up as blue from an angle, but then straight on it just looks black. You know, I may be into rocks lately, but don't think I've forgotten about the mushrooms. There are plenty of mushrooms around here. Some of them are even a little bit interesting. Wow, look at how yellow that is. That is crazy. And if you don't know that much about mushrooms, I'm actually not hurting it by picking this. All that yellow down there, that's spores. And that's how the mushroom actually reproduces. Most of the mushroom is underground in the form of mycelium. And this is just the, I mean, it's essentially the penis of the mushroom. It's the reproductive organ. And it's already spread its spores, so it's pretty much all good. Just having a beautiful moment under the bridge here. Look at how clear that water is. It's crazy. Cooking some food here. I kind of forget what the last thing I filmed was. It's kind of one of the problems of staying in one place for too long, is like I'm never sure, you know, what I'm doing exactly. It is raining a little bit here. I don't know if you can tell. Not raining hard or anything, and it's definitely gonna clear up. I mean, it'll like dry out before too long. I'm gonna go play some mahjong at the library later today. So Telluride's fucking awesome, man. I just hope I can actually stick around here, because this would be a fantastic place to live, I think. Raindrops keep falling on my head, and Just like the guy's feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Oh, I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining. Oh, hell no. I wasn't happy with just raining. Whew. I am glad I found this bridge here. Super glad. So I did not quite realize that there's this free box here. I kind of saw it out the corner of my eye, but this stuff is all free. So I'm gonna take a look through that, and I might even drop off a couple of extra things that I've been carrying. See what we can do here. I have to resist the temptation at all times to just keep taking videos and pictures of this mountain. But I mean, it's so beautiful. Look at this cliff here, and then you pan over and you see the waterfall, which is pretty full right now. You can see we had some rain, quite a bit of rain yesterday. I don't think we had anything overnight, but the waterfall is still flowing, so that's cool. So I'm going up to the lumber yard to submit this resume. I even made a cover letter for it and everything. So that should show you how badly I want this job up here. Applying for jobs is like it's my least favorite thing in the world, but it would be so worth it if it means I can stay up here for a while longer. So I'm going up there to hand this in, and I believe this is probably my best available job. And like I said, my experience working at Lowe's is directly transferable to the work I could be doing for you. So let's hope they see it the same way, and hopefully I can get this job right quick. Alright, that went okay. He definitely seemed interested. He said he's got other applications, other people applying who they've been talking to for longer, so we'll see. But maybe some other position will open up, or maybe they'll decide to go with me over the other guys, who knows. They did ask a little bit about my housing situation, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I'm staying with a friend temporarily. So, but I told him it wouldn't be an issue, and he seemed okay with that. So, I don't know, kind of sort of positive, sort of, you know, neutral response, but we'll see what happens there, and I've got other irons in the fire if this doesn't work out. So there you go, that's the one I'm most hopeful for, but we'll see how it works out. More rocks, hooray. But this one has something actually interesting in it. What is going on there? I need to take that down to the river and wash it off. That actually looks really good. I don't think that's gold. It's kind of iridescent, all right? So there's different colors in there. I don't think gold does that. It's probably something else, but like something cool for sure. Oh my god, look at that. On the other side's even better. Yeah, I think if it was gold, it wouldn't show up with those colors, but I mean, this is like exactly where you would expect to find stuff like that, where you have like some sort of substrate, or I don't think substrate's the right word, some sort of matrix maybe, I don't know. And then you have this like infilled quartz with different, like, are those sulfides? Is that what the dark stuff is? I've heard the word sulfides thrown around, but I don't really know. And then in between all that is where you get your kind of rare minerals deposited in there. So that's a cool rock. I was just sitting on the ground right over here in this soccer field. Somebody setting up a net over there too. I was just sitting over there. I would be curious if somebody put it there, like on purpose, but damn, that is so cool. Just noticing on this same rock, there is also, if you look deep in there, there's some crystals right here, and they look a little blue. I don't know what that makes them. And obviously it's like too small to really like do anything with, but you can see those crystals in there. There's one shining right there. And the ones towards the end are like this aquamarine kind of color. I think that is pretty neat. And since I've been looking at the rocks down in this little area here, I've also been looking at the mushrooms in this little area. So I think that's just pine resin. But if you look down over here, that's a little mushroom. If you look over there, that's a pretty big mushroom. No idea what they are, but I think it's probably the same thing as, there's a couple other ones in this ditch here. Let's see if I can find one. This big cluster right there. Another one right there. I think it's all the same type of mushroom, and there's also a bunch out in this field in various places. So yeah, I guess that's the mushroom report for this little hill here. There's another little guy. He almost looks like some sort of I don't know, piece of grass if he wasn't wiggling around so much. If he was just standing still, I don't think I would have noticed there was a snake there. You know, I don't like the rain that we've been having, but I can't deny that is freaking beautiful. I don't think the colors are really coming across on camera, but that is like super vibrant, like the yellow and orange in the mountain there. And you have the clouds that are fully down in the valley. Some stuff over here too. Just like mystical. So it's been raining pretty consistently today. A lot of stuff is pretty wet, but as you can see underneath this big old pine tree here, it's actually stayed really dry. Here's my tarp. It is a little wet, but honestly not that bad. So I don't know, I was thinking of moving it down over this way a little, but maybe that's not necessary. It is probably going to rain more. I mean, it's definitely going to rain more tonight and probably overnight as well, but yeah, I mean, it seems fine right here. Look at this thing. This has got a lot of that stuff on it. I'm assuming that this is pyrite and not gold, personally, because it's got that kind of golden color, but it's also got the like, you know, sheen, kind of like multicolored sheen to it. But I don't know, could be anything really. Look at the crystals in there. So much interesting stuff around here. Here's a place that I didn't know existed. It's pretty close to town. And there's just a big old waterfall. That's pretty cool. Like I said, it just rained, so this is probably like I don't know if this is like full force. We didn't get a lot of rain, but it's pretty full right now. And it's doing its thing. Look at all the rocks embedded in this wall. Just tons and tons of little stones. It's crazy. Crazy how you can have a wall this big with all these little, like, I mean, I guess they're probably river rocks from ages ago. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy just looking at that and thinking like this is natural. Nobody came and put those stones there. They ended up there somehow. through the course of, you know, geology. So I had the idea that I was going to record 16 tons by Tennessee Ernie Ford for this montage that I'm working on. It's the mining museum in Leadville. I figure it's about mining. It's relevant. So, but the problem is it doesn't sound very good on ukulele because that song is very low. All the instruments are low and all that. So I was gonna. The library has these guitars that you can just check out. Don't have to pay anything. Don't have to have an address. It's pretty sweet. So I checked out this guitar and I was gonna use that for at least the bass line. But turns out it's pretty difficult. You know, I haven't played a guitar. I haven't played an acoustic guitar like practically ever, and I haven't played any guitar in quite a while since I've been playing my ukulele. And you know, just kind of messing around with that, and then going back to the ukulele just made me realize just how easy the ukulele is, in a good way. Because I don't really want to have to like work on my finger mechanics that much. Like, all the frets are way spread out, and I think that's worse on an acoustic guitar than it is on an electric guitar. But either way, it's not good, and I would probably have to practice for quite a while before I could get good enough to really play anything on this. So I think instead I'm just going to use a MIDI program that I have, try and program the bass line that way. And then I'll still use the ukulele, but I'll just do short little chops. So it'll be more of a rhythmic thing than anything. In case you were wondering, yes, it does get pretty damn cold at night, and especially in the mornings. You can kind of see the frost on all the grass there. I don't think it's actually getting below freezing. If it is, it's just very briefly. But, you know, I would expect it will be getting pretty damn cold here within the next couple months at least. What is it? We're like a couple weeks, 2 weeks till October. October 1st will mark my 2-year anniversary of traveling, so that's exciting. But yeah, it should, you know, October, November, it'll start getting pretty damn cold around here. Decided to come up this trail on the side of the mountain and getting a pretty good view of Telluride from here. There's a bunch of construction going on over there, as well as a bunch going on in town. So even up on the mountainside, it's really not that quiet here. Something I've been kind of struggling with is when I need to go and record something, I need to find a quiet place. There's really nothing around here. I need to go all the way back to Lawson Hill when I want to do that. Even then, it's not that quiet over there. But, you know, that's life. I just have to deal with some of the noise. I wonder what that is. Can't tell if there's like a structure there or if I'm just seeing shapes in the rock. I think there is a structure there. This is a different view of the mountains. You can see way further down into this little crevice here. There's probably a trail that goes up in there, I would imagine. That would be something to look for. I bet there's trails that go all over the place in these mountains. I just need to get out more and actually do it. I got a lot done today, and it's like 3 o'clock and I still had a bunch of time, so I was like, well, maybe now's the time to do one of those hikes. Still some ways to go. I think the main trail comes up this way somewhere, but I'm on some weird side path because I took a weird route, but that's alright. If you look all the way down there, I think that little road right there is across from Lawson Hill, which is where I've been staying. And then the airport is probably up on this ridge. So you can see how far away it is from the main town, which is probably why I've gotten away with it so far. I don't think the cops or whatever really go out to Lawson Hill and patrol those trails out there. I think it's pretty much just left on its own. There's probably somebody comes through, but I haven't seen anybody yet. It's been about 2 weeks now. So I'm feeling pretty safe over there. It's a little inconvenient to get into town, but the buses are free, so that's nice. So I tried out a new spot last night, and I think it's a pretty good one. I've got like 3 places right now where I have camped that I think are like decent. This is the 3rd one. But the problem is the way into here is pretty exposed, so I feel like I can't use this one too much. But this is a really good spot. You know, behind this rock here, there's a trail, but it's like pretty far over that way. And the start of the trail is over that way, but it turns pretty quickly, so there's like pretty small chances of me being spotted, except for on the way in and out, because it's right next to a big road and it's pretty exposed and you have to walk along the road for a bit. I was thinking about like coming up this way, like maybe right there. That would be even more hidden. So yeah, I mean, that could be good, but I'm not too sure about it right now. I've started to realize that one of the big bottlenecks for me in editing is recording audio. So I try to find a quiet place to do it most of the time. This is pretty quiet right here, but you can still hear like the highway noises over there. I even went as far as to look up like if there's any recording studios in town. There really isn't. The library has some soundproof booths, but they're really more for like, you know, if you have to take a phone call and you're not going to disturb the rest of the library. But they're not really like, the sound quality inside of them isn't very good. And I don't know if they would be, I don't know if they're high quality enough to let me like actually play music in there. So I just kind of got to make do with what I got. I'm trying to do this thing right now where I'm recording 16 tons and I'm using a MIDI bass. And in doing that, I have to like record multiple tracks over top of each other. So any kind of background noise is just going to like end up clashing and being cacophonous. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I have the resources that I have, and I just got to make do with what I have. And I think this is probably good enough right here. But it is, I've given myself a lot of work for this video, for some reason. But I guess I have the time to make it happen, so just got to do the work. There you go. It's raining a little bit today. It's actually stopped right now. This is just coming from the trees. But yeah, all the way up on that mountain there's some snow. Some snow-capped peaks. Pretty cool. Well, yesterday I was freezing my ass off out here before the library opened up. And today it's super nice and warm, especially in the sun. Well, I'm just kind of sitting here. I know I haven't been filming anything lately because not a lot's been happening, to be honest with you. In kind of a rut, to be honest with you. I just feel like, I don't know, I guess I always kind of feel this way when I've been in the same place for so long, but it's been like a little over 2 weeks. I've gotten 1 response from a job, and then I replied to them, and then they haven't replied back. So yeah, I've just been feeling a little down, kind of like, how long can I just keep camping out in the woods and then going to the library in the morning before I decide that this is not worth it? But I'm gonna keep at it. I don't know, I think persistence is key. And it's not like I've made no progress, it's just frustratingly slow. And this is a beautiful place. You really can't deny that. But, you know, stay in one place for too long, for any amount of time, you'll end up getting bored of it. You know, like, how can you get bored of this? I don't know, but I'm trying. I just rewatched a bunch of my old videos to give myself a little bit of perspective on how far I've come. And it's true. It's been 2 years. 2 years, October 1st. So not quite 2 years yet. By the time this video comes out, it probably will be. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to just stay on the road. You know? I made it this far. I don't know how. Somehow I made it this far. So I can make it further if I want to. Or do I want to get off the road? It's not really the road itself that bothers me. It's more so just that I don't know what my end goal is, you know? Like, where am I going with all this? I'm going nowhere fast is where I'm going. So if I could get a job and work for, you know, 6 months or whatever it is, however long the season is, I don't really know, then I could have that perspective, and I could keep going. Maybe doing it the same way I've been doing it, maybe doing it differently, maybe doing something else entirely. I don't know. I'm fucking lost right now. I don't know what I'm doing. Staying in the same place for too long makes me that way. So it was like, what, 5 days ago or something, there was that rain, and it was really cold, and I was freezing my ass off. Well, today it's like the exact opposite. I'm like sweating my ass off. It's hot out. I mean, I guess I'll take it over the cold, but could we hover somewhere in the middle for a little bit, maybe? Oh yeah, I should probably say this to the camera too. I actually got an interview at Bon Vivant restaurant. So that's on Monday. Today's Friday. I was kind of planning on leaving on Monday, but I got the interview. So we'll see. Bon Vivant is on top of a mountain, so it may not be the best choice overall, but if I get the job, you know, I get the job. I'll probably go through with it. But yeah, it's pretty remote, and from what I heard, you might have to ski to get there and to get back. So that's interesting. I wouldn't be a chef, I would be a back waiter. So pretty much just a busboy. But I could work my way up from there, you know. And there's no guarantee that that's happening anyway. The fucking ticket checker job just hasn't gotten back to me at all. So I guess they've decided to do something else. They didn't think of notifying me. Or they're just gonna wait for, like, you know, a month to finally follow up on that. Alright, I'm going out this way to see if I can find this camping spot that people have been telling me about. It should be... where is it? This little road right here. It goes up into the mountains. And then apparently there's camping up there that's legal. Or at least mostly legal. What I saw on Google Maps was there's a sign that said camping allowed 7 days out of 30, so you're only supposed to be there for a week. But from what I hear, you can kind of work around that. So I'm gonna go up there and see what's up. It's kind of a long walk, But if I can get up there with all my stuff, then I can leave half of it behind. I really need like a smaller day pack. But I don't think this is gonna be that long term anyway, so I'm just hoping I can get comfortably set up there and not have to bring all my stuff with me every time I trek back and forth. Yeah, I've kind of hardly been thinking about it myself, but the trees are starting to change color. See all the yellow on the hillside. There's been some people taking pictures and stuff. It is pretty cool. Some of them are even a little red up there. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy how used to stuff you get when you've been here for a month. And you're just like, oh yeah, this is actually really beautiful. And I hardly noticed the changing leaves and stuff. Alright, here's the road. Turns here and goes up the mountain. I'm not expecting this to be a fun walk. Great view of the valley from here. It is raining just a little bit right now for some reason. These don't even look like rain clouds. I don't expect it'll last very long. Yeah, I'm not really sure about this hike. Doing this every day just to get to my to and from my campsite. Seems like it might be a bit much. That's a pretty good view right there though. Almost makes it worth it. Okay. I'm up here in the campground. And yeah. That was tough. I don't know if this is exactly where I'm going to set up camp, because this is like right at the beginning of the trail. But this is a good indication that I did not misread anything. Camping is allowed. Doesn't mean there isn't some sort of license that you need, but you know. We'll figure that out when the rangers stop by. This looks like where the tents go. Dude, this place is kind of cool. I just woke up and went for a little bit of a walk, not too far. And yeah, look at all this stuff. I'm kind of looking for a better campsite. And I'm also just kind of, you know, looking around. Somebody built a little shelter there. It's kind of neat. If I came down this way, it would probably be a little bit better. See these big boulders here, huge boulders. And this is kind of downhill from the, I don't know, trailhead, I guess you'd call it. So if I'm worn out from climbing up that damn hill, I can come down this way. It wouldn't be too bad, I think. Yeah, you can't really like camp just anywhere out here. It's all the rocks. I wonder if you could get a little bit off the trail. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Alright, I don't actually want to go too far right now because all my stuff is still back at the tent. So I'll turn around, but it's also kind of cool to be in this, like, you know, birch forest. I guess these are probably aspens. I don't know, is aspen a type of birch? Because I associate this type of trunk with birch. But I was told these are aspens. It's probably just a type of birch, for being realistic. But you know, all the yellow, the sun shining through the yellow leaves, hitting off the white trees, it's just a very different type of vibe than It's much brighter than your typical forest, which is cool. Alright, so I just took a shower at this pool right here. It's got showers in it. It was actually not as bad as I thought it might be. It was only $5, which is pretty decent. So I've got an interview today at noon, which is about 2 hours from now. And I'm looking forward to it. Look kind of strange with the half-dried hair. Either way, so I was just thinking, like, you know, I've got this one interview for Bon Vivant. Seems like it might not even be the best fit, and I don't know if I'm going to get the job. Just because I have an interview doesn't mean anything. So I was kind of thinking about, like, what's my best case and worst case scenario right now. I think best case is I get the job. I probably don't start until like November, which is a month-ish away, and then I would probably go down to either Montrose or Durango during that time, try and get some temporary work, get a little bit of money to get me started, look for housing during that time, start calling people, using what few connections I've made here. And best case scenario, that all works out. I get up here, I have a place to stay and transportation, and yeah, best case scenario, that all works out. I get this job. Bob's your uncle. Worst case scenario, I guess, is like I don't get any job. Actually, worst case scenario is probably like I get a job but I don't get any housing, and then I have to like camp out for the fucking winter, and that probably wouldn't last very long. If I just don't get the job, like, fine. I tried. I was here for a month. That's like, you know, what more can you ask for me? Probably plenty, but for me, that's pretty good. I tried pretty hard, and I feel pretty good about it. And the time here in Telluride has been awesome, whether I get the job or not. If I don't get the job, what I'll probably do is I'll go down to Tucson. I've been wanting to check out the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, I think. And I could possibly get a job working for one of the vendors at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. If I get a job here, it's going to conflict with that because, you know, it's in like February or something. So I'll be working here if I have a job here. If I'm not working here, then I might as well go down to Tucson and see if I can get a job doing that. And otherwise, you know, Tucson's just warmer. And I've been studying Spanish for the last like month, a little over a month, I guess, because I started like a week before I got here. Doing okay. It's, you know, progress is much quicker than the Vietnamese was, I'll tell you that much. I think you could have guessed that. So, you know, I could continue speaking Spanish and studying that, and possibly even go down to Mexico. Not sure how that would work exactly, but that's an option. It's something I would be interested in. And then if I'm still traveling next summer, I'd like to hit some of the states I haven't been to yet, particularly the Northeast. Yes, Crow, we all hear you. So I was kind of envisioning a line that goes up from, like, you know, Tennessee and Kentucky, maybe up into Pennsylvania, New York, maybe up into like the real New England, like New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, Maine. Maybe not though, because it might just take too much time. And then head west from there across the Great Lakes and Ohio and Michigan and, you know, all that. Probably ending in like Wisconsin. That would check off a lot of states that I haven't been to yet, and that would be cool. So that's my my contingency, I guess. It's not really, that's not the contingency, because if I even if I do get the job here, I could probably do that next summer. Yeah. God damn it. Anyway, that's my thoughts right now. All right. Interview went okay. It went decently well. we definitely talked a lot about housing and different challenges that I'm facing right now. And so he was like, yeah, I mean, I hope it works out for you. We may not be able to make this work, but I'll send you an offer anyway. Don't accept it yet. If that's going to help you get housing, then great. So he was really accommodating in that sense. And he also just gave me some good advice and stuff. Nice guy, very nice guy. So I guess what I need to do now is look for housing. I may not be able to get housing until I have enough money saved up for a down payment, which means I'll have to go somewhere else to find work. Or I could find work around here somewhere, but you know, I've got all my applications in for other positions and stuff, and I feel like I haven't gotten much of a response, so feeling like I should go try and find temporary work, stay active in looking for housing around here. He also said that if I do end up further out and I'm relying on shuttles, those shuttles don't run early enough for me to get here, because he's had experience with other employees that was the case. So that may not work if I want to be at Bon Vivant. But there's other opportunities, and he and multiple other people have told me if you get the housing figured out, employment is not a problem. So I guess that's my next step. Man, everybody's been saying that it's easy to get a job around here, but I have not found that to be the case. I just walked around the whole town just asking any construction crew that I saw if they're hiring, and they all said no. You'd think like construction would be probably one of the things you could just jump on a job and work for a couple months and then leave. Usually I'm kind of averse to construction, but I'm kind of like getting a little bit desperate here. Day 4 of camping on this hill, and it is getting a little bit easier. Not easy enough. There's the view. I think I made it at least halfway without stopping this time, so that's good. Catch my breath and hopefully do the rest of it. Jesus, $100 just for like checking the tires and shit. Some people got more money than sense, I guess. All right, gas station is a bust. The manager is being a dick about it. Yeah, he was basically I said like, hey, I'm looking for some work for the next couple months, and he was like, well, why would I hire someone for a couple months? Would you hire someone for a couple months? I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it's like happens all the time. So yeah, he's being a dick about it. Haven't really found anything else, so I guess I'm probably not staying in Telluride for much longer. I mean, I could even leave now if I wanted to. Okay, so I might have gotten a job, and it might have housing. I wish I could say I got the job, but he said that he'll get back to me by the end of the week. It's a ticket checker job. He said it has housing, and seems like it'd be a pretty easy job, to be honest with you. But man, I was like, this morning I was about to like just head out of town today. Now I'm like, well, I guess I'm not so sure now, because if this is actually happening, then that's like everything solved. The housing was the thing I was most worried about. That's why I was going to go get another job. But if this job's going to provide housing, then I don't need to do that. So I'm excited. I'm also nervous because now, because I didn't get the confirmation immediately, it's like, well, I got a whole week to think about like everything I said in the interview and wonder if I could have done something differently. But yeah, I'm excited because if this is real, then I'm here. That's it. That's all I need. It's mushroom time. Take a look at some of these guys. And then over this way, I spotted this guy, which I'm pretty sure is a fungus. Ooh, look at those spores. Here's one that's a lot bigger. Yeah, it's like totally hollow inside, it seems like. Pretty cool. This is Bear Creek, which is that waterfall I was looking at a while ago. It's down this way, but I didn't realize the creek itself was so deeply carved into the rock here. Super cool. There's these little egg cup mushrooms. See some like this one back here. It's actually got eggs in it. Or I guess they're not called egg cup. I think they're called like bird's nest mushrooms. But pretty cool. See a few of these around. I don't know if they're like split gills or some sort of really young turkey tail maybe, or I don't know. There's a few of that type of fungus. A better view of that big cluster. There's a big ass bone. That's got to be like an elk or something, surely. I don't know if that's lichen or mycelium, but it looks like it's from under the ground, which would mean it's mycelium. There's got to be a bunch of mycelium around. There's something a little different. I don't know what that might be. And while we're looking at fungi, we might as well look at some rocks too. This is some like very typical stuff around here with a bunch of different rocks embedded in there. Some sort of quartz. Oh look, there's little friends too. Is he dead? Yeah, he must be dead. If it was alive, it would have done something. Look at that little circle in a rock. There's a piece of something. Kinda cool. Yeah. There's a lot of different rocks around here. None of them are like terribly gemmy or that interesting, other than, you know, stuff like the circle. But there's lots around. Ugh. Sometimes they make you slip and fall. Alright, it's Friday. I got the email and I did not get the job. So this is why I didn't want to get my hopes up. Nothing good can ever happen to me, so I kind of knew this was going to happen. I guess I'm just leaving. There's nothing for me to do here. If I can't get a job, I can't get a job. It is what it is. I was planning on leaving like last Monday, so if anything, I'm just kind of annoyed that I've had my hopes up. That these jobs offers have gotten my hopes up. What am I trying to say? I don't fucking know. I'm a little annoyed, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, whatever. I got to stay here for long enough, and I guess my time has come. So first I thought this was just like leaves or something, but I'm not so sure. Is this like butterflies or something? Birds? It just looks like a bunch of freaking glitter. I have no idea. Alright, and that's where I'm going to leave it for there. That was Telluride. I had a good time. I don't regret going, even if it didn't pan out exactly how I planned. I am now in New Mexico as per the poll that I put up, so look forward to some New Mexico videos coming up soon. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and read some donations. So first of all, I've got $20 from Brian with no comment. Thank you very much, Brian. I've got $300 from Ernest with no comment. Thank you very much, Ernest, as always. Then I have got $10 from Gary S. He said, Colorado Part 7 was great. Buskin to Country Road. Thumbs up. Thank you very much, Gary. I have $6 from Andrew with no comment. Thank you very much, Andrew. And that is all the donations I have for now. So, thank you very much. I hope to get some more videos out pretty soon. This Telluride one took a little bit of effort to get through. I had 2.5 hours of footage and managed to get it down to 1 hour. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.